The following video has been created without the use of AI. Please support your human content creators by liking the video and commenting something down below. Subscribing is optional. Now please, enjoy the show.
It was like any other day in Safe Haven. Your body, a black sludge that occasionally bubbled, was safely kept inside an aquarium near the reading area. The other toys went on with their daily activities, drawing pictures, talking to one another, working on making additional shelters with the materials present, and Doey the doorman was outside scavenging. Due to reasons unknown to you or anyone else really, your body had liquefied after your bigger body's surgery. No one knew what kept you alive in this slimy form. After your escape, you had existed for a long while in the prison complex sewer system, but you had become a small legend. The belly of the beast, you were called. As anyone who crossed you, you devoured through absorption, via incredibly potent acid. It was as if your entire body was just one big stomach. You had some autonomy. You could direct the flow of your body, even push it ever so slightly on land, but in water, you were free. You desired food. One of the very few basic instincts you were able to follow. After feeding on something big and juicy, you could very temporarily manifest a body by hardening your sludge in the right places. Using said hardened mass, you could very temporarily manifest a body by hardening your sludge in the right places, using said fat to your biomass. Attempting the trick on your own, at best, led to the creation of a skeletal arm that shot out from your mass. And you couldn't really will it. It was as if you directly gave your body an order and then had to witness it fulfill the order without any further interaction within it. After Doey managed to capture, or more, convince you to merge with him, and then release yourself within the aquarium, you had become more docile. Your new confinement inside the aquarium was boring, yes, but you got free food, no longer needing to hunt. Not to mention, you were out of the sewers. You even made what could be considered as a friend. A picky pig smiling critter. She was an introvert, didn't like speaking with other toys, as the noise of talking itself gave her anxiety. So you were the perfect subject of obsession. She had books to you. Your mass was less active when someone read to you. This was interpreted as a good reaction, or lack thereof. The problems for you came in the form of a certain group of toys who didn't understand you. And right now, one of them had pushed a stool next to your aquarium and climbed it, with a ruler in their hands. "What are you doing?" shouted Piky. "I'm bored," grunted the critter, before poking your mass. Piky's eyes widened. She had seen a spider being instantly dissolved upon climbing into your mass with a quiet sizzle. And she didn't want that fate to befall anyone else. "No, that's dangerous!" Piky quickly ran to the stepping stool. Poke. Something pushed into you, a foreign object. Threatening bubbles came from your being. Poke. Piky grabbed the critter's legs. "Stop it! You hurt yourself!" Poke. "This is fun! It doesn't react like water at all! It's like a big vat of fart slime!" A slightly purple discoloration swirled around your mass, threateningly. Sadly, no one noticed. Piky took a step back. "Please, you don't know what this thing is capable..." The next poke into your mass was answered in kind from your body. Quick, like a snake bite, shot out an arm. It grabbed the bully in the face, tendril-like fingers wrapping around their scalp. They screamed out in fear. Out of the instant, sizzling pain, their skin began to bubble and melt and merge within you. Piggy's eyes widened even further in pure horror as she grabbed the critter's legs, pulling with all her might. Though, thankfully, your grip wasn't strong. You weren't trying to kill, only to maim. And she just barely managed to break the slime that held the critter in place. They were thrown backwards as the connection broke. Red blood seeping from a handprint, covering the critter's face as they convulsed on the floor, screaming. It was a pain they had never experienced before, their flesh melting, fusing with whatever was holding them. The medic was called, and moments later there was silence around you. You weren't really aware of what was happening around you. You only could hear voices and vaguely make out the shapes of your confinement. You were blind, practically speaking, not literally. You saw things. They were black and had white outlines. And when the object jabbed into you earlier, you interpreted it as an attack. Something hard and indigestible. And you followed the tool's direction to counterattack. But after this, things remained calm around you. Silence. No one dared to approach you. Occasionally you bubbled. Occasionally you swirled. And for 3 days you existed in this state of nothingness. Until you could feel vibrations. Someone was knocking on your glass. Why does no one understand you? You aren't dangerous, are you? Well, as long as no one bothers you, that is. Your mask began swirling in reflective rainbow colors like an oil spill. That voice belonged to Doey the Dough Man, the only person you could touch without hurting. Listen, you understand my words, right? We had sort of a conversation. We had done things together. An affirmative bubble popped. Sure. So, let me explain so you don't panic. We have TV hour. I found a bunch of VHS tapes, and we're watching them. It helps the others remember, and is overall considered a good thing. Or a boot thing. That's what Poppy called it. Boot, meaning that it's both good and bad at the same time. I think it would be a good demonstration that you aren't evil by participating this time. Don't worry, I'll be there. I can prevent accidents. He meant what you did to the critter. They survived, but half their face was melted, causing them to hide their face under a bucket, with a hole cut into it for their eyes. Or eye, as the other one had popped when you attacked. Obviously, they and their friends sat the furthest away from you while whispering about you being an abomination. You were placed in the middle, next to Doey and the slightly anxious Piky Pig, as a Mommy Longlegs inserted the first tape. This time, Doey had brought 7 tapes that he had found. The first was an employee training video on how to properly take care of the bathrooms for janitors, with a rather ominous text at the end that read in a text-to-speech voice, "Remember, do your job, don't ask questions, ignore the children, you're paid to clean, not to ask questions." Someone explain to me why they have to make this so creepy? Commented the toy, which caused a few chuckles. The next VHS was a progress report on catnap's biology, specifically the big one in play care. The other catnap critters who were present instantly felt uncomfortable. Catnap, the tall one, was a violent monstrosity and very loyal to the prototype, to the point where other catnips felt ostracized for his behavior, even though everyone understood that he was a different person to them. But it was the third tape where things went wrong. Interview with subject 2069, read Doey with a smile. Said, anyone's experiment number? Everyone just looked at him confused. Well, maybe it will be a new friend. He put the VHS in. It started by showing a woman dressed in a hospital gown, sitting at a metal table. After a short introduction by the voice of Dr. Sawyer, which caused everyone present to cringe upon hearing his voice, the interview began. So, employee 55665, what made you interested in participating in the Bigger Bodies initiative as a volunteer? What happened next, no one saw coming. The woman answered with a clear voice. Medical reasons. The moment her voice echoed, bubbles began to emerge from your mass. Medical reasons. Would you mind going into more detail? I have been diagnosed with cancer. It hasn't spread, and the chance of death is surprisingly minimal, but I'm afraid it could become malicious. Even the doctors are saying that. Your liquid swirled, and a bubble popped, making Doey glance at you for a moment. I have read in a report that other subjects with similar medical history to mine have been cured of their ailments after their toy transformation. We don't know if cancer can be stopped with the transformation, though. The woman smiled darkly, barely noticeable in the flickering of the screen. Come on, doctor. I know you well enough by now. You're as curious as myself to see if the surgery can fix my cancer. Small tendrils emerge from your body, wiggling like seagrass in quiet water. And why would you like to specifically become a Gothica doll? The woman laughed dryly, and that's when it happened. Your body hardened. The skeletal mass emerging from your greater being, causing everyone around you to scream in fear, except for Doey. You weren't able to fully manifest legs, so you were just left waving your arms towards the TV like a zombie, your mouth open into a silent scream. It was Piky who first reacted. She dashed around Doey and pressed her back against the back of your aquarium, trying to push you towards the TV while the others were stun-locked by what was happening, or they were fleeing. After a moment of stunned silence, Doey finally reacted. It's okay, little one, he mused, pushing Piky aside. Go with the others, I'll handle this. Piky nodded and made sure the others left the TV room, and she closed the door behind herself with a silent, good luck. There we go. Doey pushed you towards the screen until your bony fingers could touch the screen. The electric static from the glass made your body vibrate, your fingers dancing over the glass stained with black residue. Doey stood next to you. Memories, huh? You couldn't tell. You didn't know. This was you. You recognized the voice as your own, and you wanted whatever was making this noise to be inside you. As if that would fix you. As if that would make you whole again. You could feel something place on your skull. Trying to attack it, you were met with the same chemical taste that you got from Doey. Finally, you turned your head towards him. He was petting you. You still could only see the white outlines of his shape, but you could tell he was trying to comfort you. In an almost gentle gesture, you placed your left hand on his arm. It's like humanity returned for just a moment, thought Doey as he glanced at the screen. Hey, is that you? He pointed at the woman, but that's when the tape stopped, and immediately your body fell apart again. Worried, he took a step back. Your mass was boiling with emotions, but for a moment he felt as if he was looking at someone who wasn't feral, or maybe not entirely so. There was a glimmer of you still in there. I take it that was you. I wonder. Curiously hit the rewind button and played the interview again. This time your skeletal frame lifted itself out of your greater hole earlier, but also slower. Completely ignoring his presence, you stared at the screen, even though you couldn't see what was going on it, as it was just the outline square shape that you could see, but you resonated with the voices. So, your name is Gothica. Hearing that, your head shot towards him. Doey smiled. Gothica. He said quietly. Your skull tilted to the side curiously. Okay, so, good, we know your name now. The tape ended soon after and you returned to your regular state of being. And Doey sighed, sat down next to your aquarium. Swiping a hair over his bald head, he said. Swiping a hand over his bald head, he said. This was to show everyone you're a toy like everyone else. You're just a little different, but after that display, I doubt anyone sees you as normal. A warning would have been nice. You snaked a tendril up the glass, reaching over the edge, down to Doey's shoulder. He exhaled in shock, but you put it there, comfortingly, a quiet sizzle coming from his own body. But he couldn't feel pain. He was thinking. Again, you can only communicate with touches, but your touches are deadly, so it's better to just do nothing at all, huh? I suppose I was hoping for something to happen during this. Maybe not this, but, anything positive. You moved your mass against the glass, climbing up the slippery walls of your confinement. Ascending from glass was more difficult than the escape out of your prison cell, which was made out of rough concrete. I suppose as long as you're eating, you're fine. Though I don't know how much of a choice is eating for you, considering you... What are you... A huge chunk of your mass had dropped on him, still connected to your greater whole. It therefore was still alive. What are you doing? He shouted. He tried standing up, but you were gripping him. His eyes twitched. No. We aren't doing that again. That was so embarrassing. Just comfort me like a normal person, he complained. The car at your aquarium stood, skidded backwards as Doey pushed against you, causing your liquids to spill over on top of him. Your greater mass was now covering his upper body. He could feel your tendrils bury into him, prodding and rubbing over every fold of his dull body. Gothica, stop that, he tried to shout, but opening his mouth caused him to swallow a chunk of you. He knew that the rules of slime creatures, such as you and him, meant that the greater whole contained the being. Essentially, you just fed him a part of you that was now dead. In doing so, he went still. It burned in his stomach. Breathing heavily, your body entering his. Being inside Doey, it felt warm, not hot. A squirming sensation inside him. It was a good pain. He breathed, creating a big bubble inside you, making you wiggle. It felt great having him blow inside you. You moved quicker, more decisive, invading his body until it was seemingly just him there in the room. He placed both hands on his bloated tummy as he breathed heavily, rubbing over it. I can feel you, Gothica. He almost sounded like he was in pain, but it was utter pleasure he was feeling. And he was embarrassed for that. He fell backwards, lying down. His stomach bubbled. He breathed, moaning, grunting, as the curious tendrils of your being burrowed through his body. That feels so... His body was bubbling, pulsating. He saw you move just beneath his outer layer. With a shaking hand, he rubbed over a swollen lump, causing you to squirm pleasantly. His eyes rolled back. He punched the floor hard. He was getting exhausted, but you kept prodding, feeling his inside. The texture of his mass against yours. When he felt invaded and all his nerves shot pleasure simultaneously, you could feel his moist, cool dough all over you too. It was the opposite feeling, but the same pleasure. Each push inside him felt like a release of pressure against your being as you tunneled through him. You weren't devouring him, no, but you were tasting him. It was wonderful. You bubbled blissfully, absorbing just enough of his mass to not deal any physical pain, but to get some of its color into your blackness. When suddenly, a weird feeling made itself known to you. The overwhelming feeling of touch, rubbing and nestling, struggling and kissing, your mass convulsed in a climax of pleasure. Your mass erupting from his stomach in a splash. Out of his opening emerged your skeletal form, its spine connected to a thick glob of your mass that shimmered through the hole. Your body moved as if it was out of breath, as it managed to maintain its form even though it was quite runny and dripping. Doey leaned up. Gothica. He groaned as he placed both hands on your skull, not squeezing as he was unsure how much pressure you could take. He pulled you forward towards him and kissed you on your slimy black teeth.
Good job for reaching this point in the video. Typing cucumber water in the comments below to show everyone that you did. Anyways, we reached also the ending of the video, and I would like to shout out all of my lovely channel members, specifically my darling stewards. We have Mimi Momo, Jaws, Melofia, Maxicat, Allison Watkins, Mystic Jade 111, Giovanna Moretti, Twilight Mia, Angry Boxman, Hella, Anonymous Weep, and Nicodemus D. Without you, I could not do this. And without my other channel members, I could not do this either. Your support is greatly appreciated. And please remember to like and subscribe. That would really help me out, as that also tells the YouTube algorithm that you enjoyed the video. And it would lead to my video being more advertised. So please do that. Thank you.